I'm just going to do a heartfelt talk right now. And this is really for the fellas out there. Women are always welcome. There's a lot of things that I do discuss concerning females who lack values through Venus. And before I even continue, let me acknowledge that there are certainly exceptions, and the few women who have that maturity, that wisdom, that understanding of themselves, who they are and what they are here for. Those who represent and exemplify the oracles that we rely on in society. Those who have the wings spread over the gates of society as Ma'at, whose sensitivity to justice, the honor and reverence for the feelings that all of us have, who advocate for those feelings, who advocate for the fairness and the needs of the weak and meek. Those whose moral compass, it compels them to say, you shouldn't curse. That's not fair. That wasn't nice. That's mean. Don't drink out of the milk carton. Here's a cup, pointing us to sharper civilization in ourselves, who accommodate the better expressions of ourselves because of what they sense and feel. The high priestess at every home, the healers, who though they are in pain, they can't resist the opportunity to see someone else be relieved of their pain. The comforters, those who come as our mother, Yemeya, mother of salty waters, the oceans, who brings comfort and nurturing from their instincts and intuition that always seems to find the inner child in the other person, seeing through the monsters, the warriors, the villains, and still able to see the innocence in every person. The mothers who pray and uphold the entire family, as some are doing bids in the prison walls, going out to work in dangerous careers or dangerous neighborhoods, praying over us, keeping that vibration and the eye of God ever watchful over us. Where would we be without our women in this society, in every society? They are there. The homemakers, those who raise children and teach children the eternal values. Be fair, share, say hi, say thank you. We underestimate how far this goes. Say you're sorry. Give him a hug. Clean up your mess. It's time to go to bed. Hey, take your shoes off before you come in the house. I just finished mopping the floor. We underestimate this authority. We overlook it. And there's not enough emphasis and focus that's placed on what women accomplish from their nature. Someone could say, now women whose high heels are on top of every skyscraper, they're running this department, they're in charge of this firm, They're running this organization, the first woman to ever do this and the first woman to ever do that. Well, I'm here to bring us back to the sober truth. No woman who has climbed a skyscraper with her heels on the top of the corporate ladder can ever compare to the woman who raised children with values and morals and sends them out into the world with a moral compass. That is the superior woman. The superior woman is the one who kept a clean home, orderly, having command over the home, authority over the home, where in the instincts of children, in the intuition of children, at the years where the instincts and intuition was first programmed, it always relates back to its foundation, which is, as I said, say thank you, excuse me, that's not nice, don't curse, don't yell, give your sister a hug, take out the garbage, take your shoes off when you come in here, respect other people's property. It's time to go to bed. It's late. You have school in the morning. No, you're going to eat your vegetables. You're not getting a snack first. We don't understand that this job is the greatest job of all. There are misrepresentations of females, misrepresentations of women. And it angers me. It sets me on fire. And I know that God created me and created you to feel anger when we see this. And if we feel anger, surely it is the anger of the Most High that channels through us to seek justice for such wickedness. I know what a woman is, and I thank Allah that my mother is the reason why. I reverence my mother. I reverence the womb that bore me. She is the one who taught me how to interpret the physical realities into a spiritual understanding, to dissolve it and see the good that is behind it, the meaning that carries through. No matter what, she brings it back to the spiritual value, the spiritual root, the spiritual purpose, and that is to be an oracle in the life. That is to be a high priestess in the nature. My mother has always been a very clean woman. And there's been so much authority behind what she set in order. Discipline and early rising, it rules her nature. And when she sees evil, when she sees wrongdoing, oh, she's a warrior. And when she sees good, she joins in a soft, feminine voice, a comforter. But she doesn't enable weakness. She does not enable weakness. I'm speaking of the respect that I have for my mother. Well, even today, I can never fathom to raise my voice to her. Here I am, 6'2", 283 pounds. And I'm a very strong man, muscular. God has blessed me to be very healthy, work out every day. And when I'm in my mother's presence, my shoulders go low, my posture hangs. my voice goes low and the pitch goes up because I know who I'm before, the womb that bore me. I will always have respect for her because she gave me the first witnessing of what a woman really is. And I'm thankful for that because I can't be misled. I can't be lied to. I can't be tricked. I know what a woman is. Yes, I do. I know what a woman is. She raised 6 kids. I was the last of 6. And orphans in addition to that. A mother to the community in crisis, shootouts, gangs, trauma, people in and out of prison. Somehow they always seem to call Miss Denise. The instinct of motherhood, the instinct of a woman, the feminine that has come to full maturity and wisdom. That foundation, I learned, it came from her obedience to God. And the days when I was being raised by her as a child, she was devoted to the church. And so was my father. But that wasn't until after he met her. Before then, he was a pimp. He was a drug dealer, among many other things. And it was my mother's richness in religion and spirituality that led him to see himself and that he really wasn't himself. That to come to God is coming home, to return to the real nature of the self, as we all stand in the image and likeness of Allah. The Bible rolls off of her tongue. And even till this day, when we have conversations, I bring up Bible verses and she finishes them off and we both smile. It is a comforting thing. To remember the word of God, it stabilizes the heart. It strengthens the conviction. It sparks a light in the darkness of the mind, making sure that light is always present in heaven, the mind. The conversations that we have are beautiful. And that is the reason why. Because it's always full of rich spiritual value. It's inspiring and it fills us with conviction, searching ourselves, holding ourselves accountable. How beautiful it is. When a woman knows the word of God, she becomes a value that a man would die for. Later on, when I was 14, I ventured off in confusion after getting kicked out of school, for fighting and getting arrested. And finally, they had enough of all of it, and I find myself in a optional school program, in the classroom with pregnant girls and drug dealers. I'm riding my bicycle after school, and I ran into some brothers from the Nation of Islam. They took me under their wing, and I joined what was called the FOI, the Food of Islam. It is the Department of Security for Minister Louis Farrakhan. And they began to groom me and teach me. They challenged me. They surrounded me as men and molded me. They sharpened my mind. They gave me discipline. They cleaned up my character. And it was nothing easy. Nothing easy. My mother seen the changes. The change in diet, the change in behavior, the change in my communications, and the change in my character. Later on, she would come to join me. And she did the same thing with the Holy Quran that she did with the Bible. She internalized it. She ate it as if it was a meal. She meditated on it. She memorized its words because it held her interest. Why? Because I'm longing to have an understanding. So how can you forget? And the richness, again, of conversations, interactions, it accelerated. And as I look back and remember these small details, a woman is like a garden, or should I even say, a soil that has potential to produce a garden. If you water it, if you till it, if you keep away what is harmful to it, you protect it, and you encourage and promote growth. If you're intentional about what seeds you place in that soil, it is promised to produce in return what you have invested in it. And so likewise it is with the word of God wherever you find it. I don't care if it's the Bible, the Quran, the Book of the Dead. I don't care if it's the wisdom of the yogi. Whatever it is, if you say you believe, exemplify, internalize, and be it. Because the truth is, it is one and the same. It is one and the same. What is powerful about that with the woman is that she becomes a garden when she internalizes such wisdom, religious or spiritual. And everyone comes to take from that garden, receive from that garden. When we're hungry, we go to the garden. When we're thirsty, we go to the garden. When we need shade, we go to the garden. The therapy of even the environment of a garden, it blesses us with peace. And so likewise is a woman who invests in herself spiritual wisdom, or if someone else invested in her as well spiritual wisdom. It's a promise of return of fruit multiplied. She is a multiplier. A multiplier. One seed of a banana tree, it produces again and again and again as long as you nurture. Imagine how one woman can touch so many people in their life. From behind the prison walls, phone calls from loved ones of all ages who get caught up in life, young ladies and women who are in crisis or difficult situations, who need a counselor, a mentor, advice. Such a woman is qualified to give advice. Such a woman is qualified to teach. Such a woman is qualified to comfort without misleading or enabling. Because it's not coming from the perversion of the self. It's coming from eternal wisdom of the word, wherever you find the word. A criterion of judgment, standing between you and your own perverse thoughts. You can't imagine living life without such a woman once you have experienced such a woman. You can't imagine. You would prefer death than to walk the earth without access to such a woman once you know she walks the earth accessible to you. This is the truth. In this day, men are running away from women, hiding, going in the peace of the one-bedroom apartments with the air mattress and video games, because women are too chaotic, corrupt, wicked, they're lost, lustful, arrogant, narcissistic. They will leave you with debt and all type of confusion and troubles. That's not a woman. That's a predator. That's a friend of Satan. I know what a woman is. So I say that to say this. Women are here to be nurturers. They're here to be oracle. They're here to be mothers and motherly in all of their ways. They're not here to be misled and drawn into ideas of being sex workers, instruments, objects, something to have a thrill and discard. They're not here to be just decoration, ornaments. The crisis is that it's women who want to be this way. As we learned, it's not true anymore, even though it used to be true. That, oh, men objectify women. They only want one thing from us. They see us this way or they see us. No. In this time, women are doing it to themselves. They insist on it. They meditate on it. It's heartbreaking. It's disappointing. It's a sad reality with our females in the United States. They don't know who they are. They don't know what real power is from where they stand. They don't know what authority is. They don't know who and what they are to describe of themselves. They're confused. What is their role? What is their purpose? How do they show up as women? You see, I can explain all of these things. And then a woman will hear it and she'll come back around and pretend like she knew before I explained it. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. You ask a woman, what is a woman? What is their role? What is their purpose? What is a wife? What is her role? What is her purpose? What is a mother? What is her role? What is her purpose? American women do not know. They don't have the answer. They have poetry at best. What was the last meme that they read? What did a celebrity say about it? What was said in the comment section? They don't know. And why don't they know? They do not have a spiritual root. The tarot card is not going to do it. Astrology is not going to do it. Witchcraft, Wicca, spells is not going to do it. Psychology classes, Carl Jung, theories that you learn from college campus and liberal brainwashing, none of that is going to teach you what a woman is. None of that is going to teach you about womanhood. None of that is going to teach you what a wife is. It's teaching you the opposite if you haven't caught on yet, because that is the program. That's the idea. That's the trick. That's the aim. is to undo your awareness of yourself as a woman. It's to undo your awareness of yourself as a wife, to make it an undesirable office, an undesirable destiny, to make it an undesirable post. And you as women let them trick you out of it. Now you're lost. Now you're lost, fulfilling a nature and a role that is alien to your being. God did not design you to be what you have become. Satan tricked you. I can explain all these things about women, but women can't. And they hide in the back real quiet. They're just waiting to get enough information for him to explain it and say it. And then they come back around and pretend as if they knew it before they heard me say it. This is what women do today. They don't know. They're lost. They're lost. One of the things that my mother taught me, indirectly, from my own observation, is that spiritual knowledge that contains Saturn is what gives a woman a foundation in her nature. You see, the tarot card, astrology, magic, witchcraft, Ifa tradition even, yes, I said it, voodoo. This is what American women scapegoat to, because there's no accountability in these things. Not in their misunderstanding of it. Because guess who's teaching all of these things? Women. Women are teaching all of these things that they go off into. And when women teach things, they leave Saturn out of it. They leave the discipline, order, structure out of it. They leave accountability out of it. They leave the rules out of it. They leave the duty out of it. There's no obedience in it. And what is that? It's childhood relived. Arrested development. Delusion. Entitlement. Immaturity. Arrogance. Luciferic knowledge. False light. Fool's gold. You could finish the rest. Women were tricked into thinking that it was wise of them to discredit the value of the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, Tanakh, however you want to explain it. But these are spiritual teachings that includes order, discipline, structure, criterion of judgment to refer back to, obedience, development of the soul of the self that allows you to reach the spiritual view of the self. You can't jump into spirituality without first having religion. Because religion is what gives the frame, the structure that teaches you how to frame yourself in spirituality through form. You don't just skip to that. Jesus came at a time, for example, where he was to relieve the people of the law and to teach them how to find that law written on the heart. But with women falling so far down from grace in their behavior and character, you have to go the number 5 Hierophant process all over again. It's the only way. And the number 5 Hierophant process is to leave out of the burning world and find yourself into the inner ring of Saturn to save yourself, subjecting yourself to discipline, order, structure, to save the soul from spoil, to save the spirit from exploitation. You can only save yourself by going to Saturn. Saturn gives us karma that saves us from the algorithm of behavior and character that we are currently in. It shifts it. It changes it through exposing us to the consequences of our energies. And we have to figure out that it's us that's producing and reproducing that algorithm. And then we surrender to that realization. And now it's time to transform after disillusion. Women have cursed the church, taken a loud speaker. Oh, don't read the Bible. Oh, the white man this and white man that. Oh, this wasn't true in the Bible and that wasn't true. Well, tell me this. Have you practiced the principles that you find in there? Have you practiced the principles that you find in Quran? No, because it gets in the way of the freedom that you wish to exploit. It gets in the way of the liberty that you wish to exploit. Wish fulfilled. Women have wish fulfilled in America. They got the freedom and they got their liberty, but what did they do with it? They destroyed themselves with it. They cursed themselves with it. They abused themselves with it. They cursed society with it. Men don't even want to fuck with women no more. That's how bad it is. Men now see women as burdens. They don't want to date, go to the clubs, take women out. None of that. Because women of America are headaches. They're burdens. They're problems. And men love peace more than anything. Women today in America, they have no scripture in their heart. They don't know what God said. They don't remember what God said. And they really don't give a damn. They go straight to the tarot card. They go straight to astrology. They go to the magic. They go to what some college-educated liberal female told them on a camera on Facebook, Instagram, or other social media, YouTube. They think psychology is going to compensate. They think therapy is going to compensate for the spiritual needs and demands of the soul. Therapy? Excuse me? You have got to be kidding me. That ain't gonna make up for that. Therapy didn't create you. God created you. And that mystery is part of your identity. I'll give you credit that who Jesus was, the biblical stories, Quran, all of this was taught wrong. It was taught wrong. But when you become sincere enough, your heart lets you know what's right and what's not. It filters. It filters. As you can see, anybody who's been with me long enough can see, I could take Bible, I could take Quran, numerology, psychology, Ifa Yoruba African spiritual tradition, voodoo, you name it. Guess what? I found the unity in all of these things. The unity. They are all consistent. Tarot, let me not leave that out. I go there with all of that. Because there's only one truth. One truth. All of these are true. All of these are correct. All of these are accurate. All of these are beneficial and useful. It's the ignorant who say, throw this away. We don't need it. Yes, you do. Uncivilized people need religion. People who don't have discipline for themselves need religion. People who are not raised with a moral compass, they need religion. People who do not have command and authority over the lower natures of the self need religion. People who worship their Venus impulse need religion. People who are led by the lust need religion. People who continue to create and recreate chaos and havoc and destruction and generational curses, you need religion. You are not prepared for the spiritual view. You have to get conditioned for the spiritual view. Sagittarius and Pisces are ruled by Jupiter. Let's start right there. Jupiter being my father Obatala, your father Obatala, the god of white light, chief of the white cloth, the father of Orishas, the owner of the heads, Usa, Obatala, Jupiter, ruling the 9th house and the 12th house. You can't get to receive the consciousness of Pisces without the religious discipline of the 9th house in Sagittarius. The 9th house is where you have teachers, you have mentors. You have someone who stands between you and your desire as Saturn. You have someone who brings correction and accountability to you, an accountability coach, a guru. Someone who you answer to, a guide, a teacher, a master. Sagittarius rules over the religious impulse. Pisces rules over the spiritual impulse. But if you are uncivilized with your flesh, you don't have control over your flesh. You're not in command of your flesh. You can't get the spiritual view. You have to go through religion first to train the flesh so that the flesh can release the heights of the spirit. You can't skip steps. What's between Sagittarius and Pisces? What's between the the Sagittarius Jupiter and the Pisces Jupiter? What's the pathway between there? It's the number 5, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the pathway. Number 5. That's the pathway. Coming out of worldly worship, being of the world, into learning how to be in the world, but not of the world. And that's the religion. It doesn't mean you have to be a Muslim or a Christian. Religion does not mean you be a Muslim or a Christian. No, it doesn't. You can, and I even encourage it. I encourage it. It's the training wheels. It's the appropriate foundation so that the flesh and the spirit can become one through discipline, through keeping the commandments, through keeping the laws. Right now, American women have no command over the flesh. All these babies born don't know their daddy. Accident. Their arrogance and the narcissism is the only thing stand between them and reconciliation, working things out so the kids can have the benefit of the situation. But instead, selfishly, they're thinking about what makes them happy. I'm sorry, you have a kid. Fuck what make you happy. What makes the kids happy? Understand. Where are we at? You cannot access spiritual heights without training the flesh. And that's called religion. Having do's and don'ts, limitations, showing obedience, compliance. Because you have to fill the spirit with authority. You have to fill the body with authority. Without authority, there is no spiritual assimilation or ascendance. You have to have that authority. Once you learn that authority and you walk in that authority, no, you don't need religion. Why? Because now it's written on the heart. What teaches us authority 24/7? Saturn. Saturn goes from house to house, sign to sign, teaching us authority. Wherever Saturn is at, it's teaching us authority in that house, authority in that sign, authority according to the algorithm of that zodiac sign of energy. Authority. Authority does what? It moves power. What does it look like? Accountability, responsibility, having command over the self. You don't live life saying it was an accident. You don't live life saying whoops. You live life aware that you are a creator or co-creator at all times. And wherever you experience, you created or co-created that experience for a reason. And it's for you, it's your responsibility to find out why after you take accountability. Saturn teaches us authority 2.5 years at a time. Understand? Through karma. When we're moving through karma, we're unhappy, we're frustrated with the karmic situation. And we don't get past that karmic time clock until we realize that our authority is the reason why we're going through that. Our lack of authority is why we are suffering that. That could include obedience, discipline, structure, order. It could include perseverance, maturity, focus. It could include learning rectitude. This is what leads to authority. Our women lack this. Our women need this. And if they don't get it, they will not reach spiritual heights. And we are at a time of spiritual heights, thus saith Aquarius Pluto. We got to start. We got to get there. And our women need to make it. They got to get there. Unfortunately, it's by the will. Whoever wants to go, let's go. Whoever don't want to go, they'll catch up, either in this lifetime or the next. Because you do have to come back to complete assignments that you fail in. Understand? Let's get it right. When a woman has spiritual authority, when she has the word in her, Quran, Bible, Torah, I don't care what it is. When she has that word in her, she's a resource. Money can't buy that. She protects you. She's a guardian over you. Her prayers envelop the entire family and community. The older she grows, the wiser she becomes. The older she grows, the more versed she becomes. She is a well of nourishment, a rich green garden, full of fruits and animated creatures. That's a woman. And the whole community benefits from that woman. Such women. A husband who has a woman that's filled with the word, his character sharpens every day. He's compelled to show her respect and honor, humility. He prizes her as his most valuable possession because this woman keeps my ear full of the remembrance of God, the remembrance of my duty to the Most High, the remembrance of who I am and what I stand for, what I believe in. She keeps me in memory of that. She keeps me in memory of what the best intention is, what the best course of action is. But none of that can be fulfilled if her foundation is not right. And foundation cannot be on her desires and what she feels or thinks is right or good. That's bullshit. That's corruption. That ain't worth a damn. That's a dirty ass toilet. Fuck your opinion. What does a word say? What do you remember that God said about what we're going through right now? Yeah, throw that out here because we need to hear that. We need to remember that. Let's rejoice. Let's remember that together. That's what upholds that bond. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you focused. That's what heals you after hurt and injury. That's what gives you the bounce back. That's what allows you to be nurtured to go back out into the world and fight a good fight. when you come home to a woman who fills your ears and your heart with God's remembrance. I don't care again. You Muslim, you Christian, you Jew, it don't make a difference. But what does a word say? I don't want to hear what you say. What does a word say? Remind us of what the word says, not your damn opinions. Keep your opinion to your damn self. I don't need to hear that. What did God say about this? That's a woman that you can't live without. That's a woman who you die for. And that's who you want to raise your children. That's who you protect. That's who you honor. That's who you take a bullet for. But what we got out here ain't, what we have in America right now ain't worth opening the damn door for. They not worth it. Disgusting. A pitiful state. Jesus cursed the fig tree that didn't produce fruit. Imagine that. You hungry, you thirsty in the wilderness, and you come to the fig tree and you ain't even got no fruit. That's how it is with these women out here. You go to them, they're not going to remind you what God said to refresh your spirit and your soul. You can't help a man with your advice. You can't help a man with your damn tarot cards. You can't help a man with astrology. You can't help with none of that. I can't help people with just astrology. I have to reflect my understanding of God's wisdom through astrology. And that's what makes me accurate every time. That's what gives me the ability to show up with people over and over again. Because I internalize through a lifetime of focusing on what God said. From the Bible to the Quran to the Torah to the Tanakh. Living Book of the Dead, we could go there. 5% Nation. The 1 to 20s. Supreme Book of Mathematics. 12 Jewels. Noble Drew Ali. Circle 7. You name it. We could go there. But I internalize it. That was first. That was the foundation. That was the groundwork. That's my infrastructure. That's the steel beams. That's the iron beams. That's the concrete poured deep into the earth. And then you erect your spiritual understanding off of that. But these females want to get straight to the spiritual work, the spiritual talk, and they never know what the hell they're talking about. They're misleading people, leaving people more confused than when they met them. They're a damn mess in every relationship they get in. Lost, ass backwards. Where are you going being a wife to a man that God created for his own glory? Excuse me? Do you not understand that it is written, man is the glory of God. Woman is the glory of man. So how can you help and comfort or nurture man who was created as the glory of God without knowing what God said? Where are you going with that? You're supposed to remind the man of what God said, not what you think. Whatever you think, please shut the fuck up about it. Don't ever say it again. Swallow it and throw it in the fucking garbage. Find out what God said and tell him that. Find out what God said and remind him of that. Find out what God said and comfort him with that. Find out what God said and pick him up and lift his spirit with that. Because as you search for those things for yourself, it enriches you, it comforts you, it teaches you, it heals you, it enlightens you, it purifies you, it lifts you. So every time he comes to you, you are healthy, you are whole, you are well. But you don't want to do that because there's discipline in it. Because when you read or listen to true wisdom, it commands you to change. It has you to change. It has you to change. And that's what women don't want to do. You don't want to change. You don't want to grow. You don't want to evolve. You want to appear as being. So you put head wraps on, your crystals, your tight ass yoga spandex. sage, and all these other decorations that make you look like something that you're really not. I don't got no fancy hats, crystals and sage and all this other stuff, cameras and lights all up in my face. No. Because this ain't no damn show. This is not an art show. I flow with this. I flow. I don't need notes. I flow because I had that foundation. When I look at my mother's wisdom, it flows even to this day because she had that foundation. She stayed in the Word with the Bible when she was a Christian, and she stayed in the Word with the Holy Quran when she was Muslim. She stayed in it. My mother can read tarot cards better than anybody I have ever seen read tarot cards. My mother does. She's excellent with it. She has perfected it. She can read a situation so accurately. True wisdom. It flows through her. It flows from her. It flows. It's superior to me. Or superior to mine, as I should say. And there's a reason for that. It's the foundation. You don't skip steps, because when you skip steps, the real ones are going to see that you skip steps. The real ones are going to see that you're fraudulent, you fake, you phony. You need to go back to the basics. Our women have to go back to the basics. Know the Word. Because when you know the Word, you know how to dress. You know how to walk, how to talk. You know how to maneuver situations and circumstances throughout life and relationships. You know what you should and should not be doing. There's no confusion when you know the Word. Why are our women so confused? Because they don't know the Word. That's why you're confused. You don't know the infrastructure of the Word. You don't know the order of the Word. There's order in that. There's stability in that. And that order and stability, it directly compensates for your emotional insecurity. Security is the foundation of a woman's peace of mind, just as freedom is a foundation of a man's peace of mind. But she's not going to get security the route that she's trying to get it. A man with 6 figures, that's not going to give you peace. It's not going to give you stability or security. You hustling backwards. And when you get a man, you're not going to keep him. Who told you that you're supposed to comfort, guide, and advise and counsel a man from yourself? No, you're not. No, you're not. You do so from God's wisdom, from God's Word. You quote, you repeat what God said. You remind him of what God said about what he's going through, about what y'all are going through. That's what you do, because that's a greater authority than both of y'all. It's the criterion of judgment. It stands between you and him. You refer your arguments back to the Word of God, not his desire and your desire. You refer it back to the Word of God. Oh, my bad. You don't like men who love God. Oh, so I might as well stop talking. That's right, I forgot. You don't want to deal with no man who loves God. Okay, yeah, I understand. Point made. That's the whole point right there. Pookie don't want to hear that. Ray don't want to hear that. The neighborhood drug dealer don't. Well, actually, that's not true. Some of them do. Some of them do. But I'm going to tell you this. Any man in crisis, any man who's suffering and going through it, any man having a hard time, the Word of God is guaranteed to comfort him, to lift him up. I promise you. It don't matter if he's religious or not. You don't even have to quote it directly. If you understand the Word, then you have the essence of the Word, and your own wording can compensate for the value of what God said. So in essence, you're saying the same. You're just passing it along through your own intuition. That helps. You can't be a fig tree with no figs. You're a woman, but you don't comfort. You're a woman, but you can't counsel. You're a woman. You don't know how to restore the spirit of a man. You're a woman. What good are you? If you don't know how to do those things, what good are you? Oh, you know how to climb a corporate ladder, though? Yeah. Yeah. You were born as a wife and maidservant for the boss, huh? Okay. Your career, huh? Yeah. So God gave you titties for no reason. God gave you a womb for no reason. God made you a soft creature for no reason. God gave you intuition for no, oh, it's for corporations. Oh, I got it. That's why. You all let feminism really detour you from the heights of your satisfaction and joy in life and what it really means. You took God out of everything. You don't read tarot cards without God. No, you don't. Numerology without God. No, you don't. Astrology without. I don't know where y'all think y'all going with this shit. I don't do that. You ain't gonna hold me to that. That ain't what we do over here. I'll be damned. I am not getting ready to read tarot cards for somebody without God. I'm not going to talk about astrology to nobody without God. I refer everything that I'm saying and thinking, every insight that I'm trying to get from what an aspect says or whatever else, I refer it back to what I understand about God's wisdom from the Bible or the Quran, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Circle 7, whatever. I don't care what it is. I absorbed all of it and I have plenty of reference. I'm not going to pervert my message with my own opinions. I'm not going to mislead people by what I feel and think. No. I'm going to bring it back to God. These are people's minds and souls out there that you could be misleading. Point made. To the brothers out there. I got off on a tangent talking to the sisters, you know what I mean? But anyway, welcome everybody in. You know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Something even better happened. So to the brothers, what I want to say. We got to find the strength to come out of fornication. Do the best you can. I know it's not an overnight thing, but find a focus to bow out of fornication. Bow out of a promiscuous lifestyle if that's what you do. Turn away from it. Turn away from it. Don't sleep with strange women. Don't move the earth seeking for who you can fornicate. I know it sounds extreme. I know it sounds ridiculous. Something even maybe impossible for you to fathom. And I say that because I was there. I was there before. I know where you at, some of you. I know what it's like. There is nothing like a woman. And there's nothing like satisfying your lust with a woman. There's nothing like it. We could live our whole life chasing women and be happy. Well, seemingly happy. That's really a miserable life. I know. Because I'm a recovering addict with that, believe me. I had a serious problem with my addiction to women. And it's the mercy of Allah that I don't suffer that problem anymore today. And I say it's the mercy of Allah because I know it's still in me if I put myself in that position. It's still there if I choose to backtrack. If I betray my wisdom. But I have too much wisdom. I have too much experience to pretend like I don't know better. So knowing better was supposed to do better. I want to avoid karma. I want to avoid misfortunes. I want to avoid falling into holes that take me decades to dig myself out. And you fellas know what I'm talking about. Because when you get into a promiscuous lifestyle, fornication and adultery, things like this, you create misfortune upon yourself that takes you many years or decades to dig yourself out. Unnecessary problems and burdens. And in the season we're in, it's just not worth the risk. American females are very predatory. They're dangerous. It's not worth you losing your reputation, losing everything that you work for. Statute of limitations in America is up. A woman can go and say you did something to her back in 1993, and next thing you know, you're getting sued or you're going to jail. An argument or dispute happens. It don't matter if the girl hit you first or whatever. You already know you're the one that's going in the police wagon. It's not worth it. You're a wealthy man. You're doing good for yourself. That's when the more attractive females start, levitating toward you. And you really have to be even more careful then, because now you have something to lose. Family court is designed for her victory. Divorce court is for her victory. And you should always keep this in the back of your mind. The state is in her favor, not yours. Public opinion is going to take her side, not yours. Why be foolish? Where's your value of yourself? Where's your respect for yourself? Where you gamble with everything that's valuable to you because of your lust. It's just not worth it. Bow out. If you seek to get married, I encourage that. If you're focusing on someone in a contractual sense, where you both have benefit for each other, you both have good intention for each other, okay, I get that. All right? But even in that, women are incentivized to marry. They're also incentivized to divorce. So do you have a plan for that? Do you have a plan? They win if they marry and they win if they divorce. You lose if you marry and you lose if you divorce, if it's the wrong person. It's a lose-lose situation if it's the wrong person. For her, it's still a win-win situation. Children can easily become weapons. So why would you put yourself in position to have an accident? Why do you trust what women say so much? Oh, don't worry, you can leave it in. I know you don't want no kids. I'm going to get a plan B. I'm going to get an abortion. And I don't agree with abortion. It's murder. But she would tell you these things. You would tell her, you would make it clear to her, hey, I don't want kids right now. Yeah, I know, but I don't think we should do that. And she lures you. She seduces you. And now you backtrack on your wisdom. You betray your wisdom. Now you have an accident. She's pregnant. And now she's saying she want to keep it. But I think I want to keep it. I changed my mind. And guess what? It's nothing you can do about that. What I'm saying is, have accountability before you create it. Have foresight. Think about it. Because after you create that, you can't blame nobody. You can't cry and complain. You can't put it all on her. Because guess what? Both of y'all laid down. Both of y'all decided to do that. It's a co-creation. Be careful of who you co-create something with, especially children. Co-creating with women is risky. Going in business with women, having children with women, getting married to women, sharing your secrets with women, do not move in with the woman. God forbid. If you're doing that right now, I encourage you, make a plan and get your own shit. If you're not married, make a plan and get your own shit. Get up out of there. I swear to fucking God, get up out of there. Don't ever do that. It's better for you to sleep on the sidewalk than move in with a woman. Sleep in your truck. Go to a homeless shelter. Sleep on somebody's couch. But do not, under any circumstance, ever move into a woman's home. Women will make fair seeming what contradicts your wisdom. Women will make fair seeming what is not in your best interest. They will make fair seeming your betrayal of your wisdom. And it's up to you to be strong enough to keep sight and focus of where your wisdom is at. Learn he obedience through the things that he suffered. We suffered enough as men. It's time for us now to show obedience, because we can't pass the buck like women do. We can't lack in accountability like women do. Society holds us accountable. We hold each other accountable. We are not forgiven. We are not overlooked. We have never been separate from accountability. It always wears on us to have accountability. For years, for generations, fathers and husbands have been the reason and the blame for everything. So we know these things, but we're only fools, and we're even insane to keep creating and recreating these realities, these experiences, these circumstances, these conditions, because we know better. And nobody can feel sorry for you because you know better. Look at DDG, the rapper DDG. Nobody could feel sorry for him. He put himself in that situation. He got that girl pregnant. He didn't marry her. It was key all over the internet, letting the whole world in your business. He saw what was going on, the whole Me Too movements and all this other stuff. Predator. It was predators galore for the past 4 years. Taking men down left and right. Marrying men, divorcing them, taking all they got. Me Too, suing people, millions of dollars. He's a dumbass because he sees what's going on out here. You can't feel sorry for him. So if you're still fornicating, you still, promiscuous and chasing females and doing all this stupid stuff, man, listen, you're gambling with your life, dude. This is not the time to be living like that. It never was okay. We agreed to an image as men that we don't have to agree with anymore. Aquarius Pluto suggests that we're free to decide what the image and reputation and standards of a man is from here on out. We could decide what that is. Why do we go low in celebrating being promiscuous? We celebrate how many girls you can knock down. We celebrate stuff like that. No, that's not honorable. It's not noble. It's not respectable. Here's the thing. You might say, where am I getting this? I'm getting this from hindsight as well, okay? Because, as I told you, I was first groomed by the Nation of Islam, then the Sunni madhab of Islam, which is Orthodox, Salafi, Hanbali, Shiite, all of these, okay? And all of these movements, or all of these schools of thought and sects of religion, there was always discipline in the matter, and there was always respect and honor for women. I not only understood it, but I got to see how it works. Living life as a Muslim, you see women held in very high regard in the way that they should be. Not held in high regard for lust, but held in high regard as in it's our responsibility as men to secure them, protect them, respect them. And because we were behaving that way towards them, they in turn respect us also. So I got to see that it works. I got to see how it works. I'm not speaking from ideas. I'm speaking from intuitive memory, because I lived it out. I know what women are. My whole life, from 14 years old up until my mid 20s, I've lived in Muslim communities. Muslim communities all over America, because I was chasing knowledge with the scholars. So as the scholars moved and as different scholars came up and were more prominent than the others, I would move to that community to get close to that scholar so that I could study under them. So I went from Muslim community all over this nation, and I seen how things work and what doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you right now, testify from the inside. Listen, y'all already know. I'm going to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I speak nigger language. You know what I mean? Street credibility, nigger language. So I'm not up here to sell and promote some poetic nonsense to somebody. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If something's fucked up, I'm gonna say it's fucked up. If it isn't, it isn't. I'm gonna tell the truth. Y'all know I have no problem saying that. And I'm here to tell you right now, Muslim women are the most respected women that I have ever seen in action. I've never seen women more respected than Muslim women. What are you talking about? Muslim men hold Muslim women in high regard and respect. When we go to the masjid, we're not even, men and women don't even mix. Men go to one side, women go to one side. We don't shake hands and we don't hug each other. That's not because they're contagious. That's not because something wrong with them. It's out of respect. You hug your wife, nigga. You hug your daughter. You hug your mother. Yeah, that's who you hug. You ain't gonna be having sister so-and-so titties all up on you, hugging you and all this stuff. No, we don't play that shit. Women are respected, nigga. Fuck you mean? It's respect. Respect is everything. We don't tolerate women walking around titties all out, ass all out. Excuse me, there's married couples around here. Why are you dressed like that in this community? Yeah, respect the marriage that's around you. Respect everybody's marriage. And why ain't you married? You need to find a husband, because single women cause problems. Single women cause problems. Single women cause problems. They need husbands, because as long as they don't have husbands, they're going to do something fucking stupid. They're going to do something fucking stupid. They got to have a husband, because you can't be out here addressing women. You got to address the husband. When a woman does something that is reprimandable or that should be corrected or addressed, you don't go to her. You go to the husband. Excuse me, this happened. There's this situation, whatever, you just, want to make you aware that, in the community, we don't really like to do that because it can cause bad things, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that's a family issue. That's how much we respect the women. You don't go to them wilding and arguing and going back. No, man, that's unheard of. They cover. They cover. Because what is valuable must be covered. What is honorable must be covered. What is you talking about? What is reverence must be covered. That's divine. That's divine. Yeah, women are divine. Nothing is good without women. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You out here showing all your body and all this other stuff. So you mean to tell me niggas who ain't even your husband get a free peep show? We get to see all that ass, all that tit. That's how you feel? Word? That's how you feel. You know what I mean? The respect. I want to be respected for my mind. I want to be respected for my intelligence, for my accomplishments. Guess what? Men don't care. Men do not care you got a Dr. This or Dr. That or you own this business. You can name millions of things and men don't give a fuck how much money you got, what your status is and what business you run and all. The only men who care about that are the bum ass niggas that want to benefit from it, that want to use it, that want to use you for it. That's the only ones who care. Men don't give a damn about that shit. The girl who works at Foot Locker, the girl who works at Target, the girl who works at, Walmart. No, that Walmart too ratchet. The girl who works at Target, Foot Locker, you know what I'm saying? Or even a fast food restaurant. Yeah. Men can easily see a wife in one of those because his status, men don't give a fuck about that shit. Now, American females are leading with the wrong things. They start talking about how many degrees they got, businesses they own, money they making, and they did this and they did that. They are leading with the wrong things. How loving are you? How patient are you? How kind? How many virtues and how much virtue and moral and ma'at principles do you really exude and exemplify? You know what I'm saying? Men want a woman that's going to say, hey, you shouldn't curse. That's not nice. Oh, don't be mean. Be nice. That's what men want. Y'all hear how I talk, you know what I'm saying? I talk like this, you know, a little gritty or whatever, but we honor women who remind us to polish up. We honor women who remind us to be clean and polished. We honor that. And we see the benefit in that. We see the blessing in that. So men want to be reminded of the purity of life because men have an obligation through their soul journey to be committed to the dirt in life, the infrastructure in life, the unfinished ground. We're made from the earth, from the dust of the earth. And we have an intimate connection to what is dirty and gritty. So women remind us of the purity in life. What is a woman that is not clean? What is a woman that don't know how to clean? You know what I'm saying? A woman that knows how to clean is way more impressive than a woman who got 7 doctor's degrees. I'm telling you what, yo, I need men in the comment to verify my bullshitting and my lying and my exaggerating. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Support me. Help a nigga out, man. Because I know I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? A woman who has good morals and values, you know what I'm saying? She's, oh no, I don't kiss on a first date. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Self-respecting, you know, not all loud or trying to be all getting attention, all in front of a bunch of niggas and all this other stuff. Respect herself, man. You know what I'm saying? She sit and close her legs when she sit. When she eats, she's shy when she eat. You know what I mean? A little bit of shyness up in there. You know what I mean? We want to see the pureness, the purity. But what happened when you jumping off the porch, smoking Black and Miles, fucking 30 niggas, wearing dusty ass wigs outside fighting and shit? You know what I'm saying? Fighting and cussing. In and out of cars with dope boys and all this other stuff. Nigga, I done seen all this shit, man. When I was a bouncer for 4 years, it broke my heart. I seen so many innocent girls come to the strip club and months later, they just turned out, look like, you know what I mean, cokeheads. Just ran through. It's sad. American women know nothing about being pure anymore. Women are supposed to represent Ma'at, the wings of Ma'at over the city. They exemplify that. When a man of understanding listen to a woman, she cussing like a sailor. She you know, she has no control over her emotions. She all over the place. She messy. She chaotic. All this other stuff. Why would you want somebody that to mother your seed? Why would you want somebody that to raise your kids? That's a problem. I don't want you around my kids. I wouldn't want you to raise my kids. Look at you. You crazy. Something wrong with you. Yeah. We want our kids to have good manners. We want our kids to say yes, please, and thank you. We want our kids to say, you know, excuse me, you know, or apologize if they wrong somebody. We want our kids to have a moral compass. So if a woman doesn't exemplify moral values in all of her being, she's not fit to be a good mother. So if you're a man with understanding, you're going to pass her up. You're going to say, oh, hell no, I'm not fucking with that. But what we have to learn as men is don't fuck her. See? That's where we mess up at. That's where we mess up at. Because the truth is, as men, we will see a woman that we know we don't want to be with. God forbid if she ever become a mother of our children. But I'll still hit that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how we think. As men, that's how we think. But we have to learn to evolve from that, because what ends up happening, an accident happens and now you're stuck with her, or there's some complicated situationship. You know what I mean? It prolongs and extends farther than it does, and now you caught in a karmic situation that you shouldn't have been in, because you have to learn that lesson. We got to stop doing that. Stop fucking girls that you know is don't even be out here fucking. Get married in a way that protects you. You know what I'm saying? In a way that protects you. And I'm not saying married through the state. You know what I mean? Let me lay that out. This is Aquarius Pluto. So you define what marriage means. And marriage simply means contract, okay? The Arabic word, nikah, okay? Nikah, it simply means contract. That's what marriage is. It's an agreement between your family and their family. See how I said that? I didn't say between a man and a woman, between the man's family and the woman's family. Yeah, because marriage brings together communities and families. It connects families. Because remember, when you marry somebody, you marry their family too. Yeah, that come with it too. So you got all these crazies behind her, and she hasn't evolved to a place to have healthy boundaries concerning that. You just inherited all that junk that's behind her too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta use our wisdom. You got a woman out here that's fucking everything. You know what I'm saying? She just got done fucking somebody last week, and you up here talking about, yeah, I think we should get married. Come on, man. How you gonna marry a woman that's promiscuous, nigga? Is you stupid? Are you dumb? You know what I mean? Are you dumb? Come on. How you gonna marry a woman that's promiscuous? What is you doing? And again, I didn't say married in the state. We know that shit is not for men. Don't get married in the state. I do not recommend that. That's a trap. That's a trap, nigga. Don't you ever do that shit. That's a trap. Married in the state? Shit, nigga, you hung yourself. For real. You hung yourself like a runaway slave. Like you are fucked. Sorry to put it to you. Yeah, you fucked. Because the moment you get married through the state, that woman has all the control over you that she wants to have, and she can use it whenever she wants. She has all the leverage through the court, through the state. You're fucked. You better do what she says and how she says to do it, or you're just fucked. That's some dumbass shit right now. You should use your wisdom. Understand? But you sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, in a committed relationship with somebody that's promiscuous, that's a guarantee. Like, nigga, you getting cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for you. If you out here being promiscuous, when it's time to focus on a family situation, okay, you're gonna cheat. You're gonna cheat. Because that habit doesn't change because you got married. The habit doesn't change because you're in a family relationship. The habit changed because you realize inside yourself that it's time to respect yourself. To thyself do no harm. Do not create that karma. Do not create negative karma upon myself. That's what you're doing. You create negative karma when you out here moving like that. That starts while you're single. What you do while you're single is exactly what you're going to be doing when you're in a relationship. So if you out here fucking every bitch that you run into while you're single, you're going to do the same thing when you get married. You're going to do the same thing, because guess what? The honeymoon is going to end very quickly. It's going to end very quickly. I'm just telling you the truth. All right? And after the honeymoon ends, guess what? Sooner or later, she going to stop fucking you. She going to stop giving you sex. She going to, you know what I mean? Married people hardly ever have sex. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's a rare thing. Every now and then. Okay? It's often as there's a full moon or a new moon. That's how often you have sex when you're married. And that might be a problem for you. You know what I'm saying? That she don't want to have sex with you no more because of some unresolved issues, an argument. You said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, and now you're not having sex no more. So what do? You start sneaking around. You start, going over here and going over there. Now she can charge you with cheating. She can take you to court for that. Take you for everything you got. Because you broke it. You broke the contract. You could create a baby across the tracks. Now you got drama in your life. unnecessary burden. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? However you want to be in your marriage, however you want to be in your relationship, if you are a single person, you have to be that person while you're single. Because your reason can't be the other person. You can't be sexually disciplined for that person. You have to be sexually disciplined for yourself. You can't let go or walk away from promiscuous behavior to keep the other person happy, or to avoid the wrath of the other person or consequences of the other person. You have to do it because it means respecting yourself, because you fear God. And fear God means you fear what you're polluting your imagination with as a result of doing that. You see what I'm saying? That starts while you're single. The habits of marriage starts when you're single. It don't start when you get married, nigga. Come on, is you dumb? You know what I mean? Let's get this right, man. Come on. We gotta get better, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a better man for women, be a better man for yourself, man. Come on, dude. You get the point I'm saying. Somebody out there, let me know I'm not talking to myself, man. Come on. Let me know I'm not talking to myself. Be a better man for yourself, not for a woman. You know what I'm saying? If you treat people right, you treat people good, you pour water for somebody, you cook food for somebody, you know what I mean? You give people good treatment, you're just, you're fair, you're understanding, you're a good listener, so on. So you're doing this because you're intentionally molding your character so that your character gives you access to a greater destiny. You see what I'm saying? That's your reason why. So if you pour water for your wife, don't do it to get a reaction out of her. Do it because you want to witness yourself as being thoughtful. Do it because you want to, do things because you want to witness yourself as being compassionate, understanding. Do things because you want to witness yourself as being honest, truthful, just. You want to witness yourself as a man of rectitude. You want to witness yourself as a man of duty, a man of honor, so on and so forth. That's your intention. Because if you do things for the other person, what if that person changes their mind and becomes unhappy with you, or you get unhappy with them? Now you're not doing it? No, you have to do things because that's who you are, not because you're looking for a reaction. Do it because that's who you are. There's these arguments out here, you know what I mean? I'll do feminine things if he's masculine, or I'll do masculine things if she's feminine. Come on, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. We have to change our intention. Whatever you do, however you do it because that's who you decided you are. You know what I'm saying? You cannot live your life seeking to live to please someone, because that's the impossible mission. It's mission impossible. It's already naturally pleasing to someone to be God. That's all you have to do. Seek to stand in the image and likeness of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the most compassionate, the listener, the hearer, the seer, the protector, the guardian, the guide, the healer, the teacher, the comforter, the father, the mother. You understand? So when you are putting on these attributes of yourself, doing your best to reflect the image and likeness of God, you naturally secure the other person. You naturally bring stability to the other person. You naturally bring joy to the other person, comfort to the other person, as a result of being God. And this goes for man and woman. Man is to be the masculine expression of God. Woman is to be the feminine expression of God. If we make up our mind to do that, it is natural that we make the other person stable within that relationship. And if they are not, guess what? You're not responsible. You're not responsible for that person's full spectrum of expressions and emotions. It doesn't mean that you be arrogant and, oh, I don't care what you think, I don't care what you feel, whatever, walk around, upset. I don't care because I did this and I did that. No, we also have to be compassionate, and we're supposed to turn to each other in compassion, turn to each other in mercy, try to produce an understanding, a clarification or different things like that. I'm not saying just, screw you, I did what I'm supposed to do. No, you understand? Being an advocate for each other, advocating for the needs and feelings of each other. We have to change our intentions, and rearrange them. Nobody can make me happy, and nobody can make somebody else happy. That's not our job. Security, stability, respect. You know what I mean? That's everything. Knowing our roles, knowing why we're here, what we supposed to do. Communicate. Come on, man. Who you are when you're single, that's exactly who you're going to be when you're in a relationship. Keep it real. Keep it real. So, my message is not complicated for, for the brothers out there, but if you could just, just start this one focus and commitment, man. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself. Guard yourself. Guard your chastity. Protect yourself, man. You know what I mean? Men should be chaste also. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be out here fucking everything moving. That is childish and it's irresponsible. Coming up in Islamic environments and communities, we held each other accountable for those type of things. There was no news of fornication and adultery going around, and I mean, brothers would swarm around you and like check you for that, like real life, real time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making this up. You know what I'm saying? I remember in the nation, I had a female friend of mine that was, obviously a girlfriend. And I brought her to the mosque one day, and my captain had seen how she looked. And, he pulled me aside after that, at the end of the meeting. And he said, listen, I'm going to just be straight with you. And he said, did you have sex with her? I said, no, I didn't. I really didn't. He was like, oh, okay. He's like, listen, where you're at and the post that you have, you don't need to be out here fornicating. You don't need to be out here committing adultery, because we don't represent that. We don't stand for that. And we don't represent and we don't stand for men bringing destruction to the community. Okay, you're going to be responsible. You're going to be upright. You're going to be righteous. And there's no other option than that if this is where you're going to be. So I don't know what your intentions is with her, and I hope it's good, and I believe that it's good. But you're not going to do any of those things that brings destruction to the community, especially not with women. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do nothing but respect that. Now, mind you, I think I was 16 years old at that time when he told me that. So I was groomed in all of this. And I'm here to also testify that I went astray from it. I went astray from it for a couple of years in my 20s, in my late 20s. I was wilding and going against my wisdom. I was wilding and betraying my wisdom. I was wilding out and doing what the hell I wanted to do. And believe me, I paid the price. I paid the price. Hard head make a soft behind. It was not worth it. I paid the price. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it a buck, because I wasn't groomed for that. I wasn't brought up to be wilding like that and, indulging in such lifestyles. And I self-corrected, and here I am, back on my square. You know what I'm saying? Back on my focus by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I'm just like you. I'm all fucked up. I'm just like you. But I'm just doing my best to, make sense of how I'm fucked up. You know what I mean? For real. Just keeping it a buck. So, anyway, I'm just sharing, what I'm saying, for what it's worth. Trying to put, good energy out there. Try to cause some good things to happen. You know what I mean? And if it only reaches one person, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? But back me up. You know what I'm saying? Support me and back me up. I ain't up here like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, panhandling, you know what I mean, asking for money and all this other stuff every time you turn around talking about money and all this, showing, all over the screen with, sexual images and all this other stuff, enticing people, and, entertainment, and, arrogance and narcissism. No, it's just a message. That's it. 100%. All I do is give the message, and, your support is not in, people sending me, cash apps and PayPal and all. I don't got those emojis up here. And I don't got it up there for a reason, because that's not what I came here. I didn't come to exploit the people. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to sell the message. I didn't. Now, if it's a reading, yeah, I need to be compensated for the energy and time and focus that I put into it. Okay, that's it. That's a fair exchange. You know what I mean? But as far as this, I'm not monetized or none of that. But I show up and I give, because this is my way of worshiping the Most High. This is my way of worshiping God. You know what I'm saying? By showing up here. And if I reach one person, you know what I mean, I'm thankful and grateful. But I really want to see a change happen, and I'm trying to instigate that change. You know what I mean? And hopefully, I will remain consistent, with the message that I'm putting out, reflecting it, exemplifying it, putting it in practice. You know what I mean? So, help me out. And you help me out by just showing support, hitting a like, sharing, subscribing, commenting. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know you're there breathing, whatever, or that the message reach you. You know what I'm saying? That's support. That's sufficient. You know what I mean? That's like sending me $1 million. Thank you. Word up. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff. You heard?